Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and here's some of the top stories we have for you tonight. Good news from the governor, problems with a Vitran driver once again, and your Wednesday Crime Stoppers report. These stories and more are up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, Governor John D. Young made a primetime speech last night. On the agenda, the recent rum deal involving Diageo Corporation. Also, good news about Crucian rum as well. Let's take a look.
In 2007, Diageo came to us during their search for a location to build a distillery for Captain Morgan rum, the second largest rum brand in the world. They had purchased that brand a few years earlier from Seagram's, and with it came a supply relationship with a distillery in Puerto Rico. But Diageo had determined as a matter of corporate policy that it wanted to own its own production facilities for its signature global brands. And they had determined that at the end of their current supply contract, they would build a new home elsewhere in the Caribbean. It would be, they suggested, Honduras, Guatemala, or if we were interested, the Virgin Islands. This was the type of opportunity that no governor across the country could pass on. This was an opportunity for the Virgin Islands to diversify its economy, build fiscal stability, and have a chance of funding some long outstanding obligations to its employees and vendors. And doing this by using the rum cover-over program to build a rum industry was exactly what Congress intended for us to do. So we entered into a partnership with Diageo, and it had two primary elements. First, we would provide them with the statutory molasses subsidy that has been provided for many years to all producers of rum in the Virgin Islands. Second, we would provide the marketing support payments provided in the 2006 agreement with Crucian. And instead of a 3-year agreement like the one we had in place with Crucian rum, we told Diageo that we would only agree to make a substantial public sector investment in the Captain Morgan brand if it was part of a longer partnership, that we needed a long-term return on our investments. And if we were going to commit to them, they had to give us an exclusive 30-year commitment to us. Diageo agreed. And today their new state-of-the-art rum distillery is under construction on St. Croix with 36 local firms employing 136 people, 90% hired out of our local workforce. With our long-term agreement with Diageo in place and the history of revenue collections from Crucian, we could begin to assure investors in VI loans and bonds that we would be able to pay back what we were borrowing to survive the present crisis.
It's Wednesday, and that means it's time for your Crime Stopper report. Here's Wes Small.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. It is Wednesday, and before I do your Crime Stoppers report, I want to remind everyone that October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I'm very proud to be wearing the purple ribbon right over my heart. And I just want to say to all you women out there, again, keep your heads up, and we do love you. All right, let's do Crime Stoppers. Detectives are seeking information on St. Croix about the persons involved in a robbery at the Randall Doc James racetrack on Monday, August 16th at approximately 12 noon. VIPD suspected the perpetrators were also in that area that morning, so we need those suspects to be caught. In St. John, police are seeking your assistance in solving a daylight burglary that occurred Wednesday, September 30th in the area of Villa Caribe in Chocolate Hole. There, several electronic appliances were taken, including iPods. And finally, on St. Thomas, Friday, September 25th, between 9:30 in the morning and 3:30 in the afternoon, a residence was burglarized in the State Nadir in the area of the horse track. A large amount of money and jewelry was taken. The VIPD needs your help. And let me tell you about this. Since January, Crime Stoppers is pleased to announce they've authorized over 50 rewards, totaling over $40,000. Continue the good work, folks. Remember, all operators are bilingual. Also, all calls are anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Wes. And there was a mistrial called yesterday in the Catherine's Rest case. The trial lasted only 2 days before Judge Raymond Finch granted all three defense attorneys' request for dismissal. It's believed that although the Judge Finch warned the jury not to watch the local news, some jurors watched anyway, thus resulting in a mistrial. It's still unclear if the prosecution will retry the case. Meanwhile, the three defendants, Eamon Thomas, Nathaniel Thomas, and Okemo Milligan, have been returned to federal prison in Puerto Rico. And on St. Thomas, gunfire rang out at a basketball game in the Oswald Harris Court area Saturday night. A 19-year-old man was shot in his torso area. A 15-year-old boy was shot in his right leg. And a 70-year-old man was tied up and robbed Saturday night in the Belongo Bay area. The senior citizen was entering his home when he was accosted by two men, one of them wearing a mask, one armed with a gun, the other with a machete. They took cash, a cell phone, and other items as well. If you know anything about these crimes on St. Thomas, please call 715-5522 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. And we'll have more news for you after the break. Stay with us on Channel 8.